Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready here.
He's taken another one and another, and Howard Foster has stopped it. Wow, that is going to be controversial.
That's a crunching right hand, and that must finish it. It must finish it.
Taylor trying to catch himself, using his jab, eats a right hand, another right hand, and he goes down. Oh my goodness!
The dream is made real. Ricky Hatton rocks the world with a truly stunning win over a modern legend. He is the champion of the world.
Yes, we're back. Raps on TV, live in the house, fresh reporting from London. Been a quiet weekend of boxing, but we're back to talk about the biggest things, and a lot of returns have been happening in these last 7 days. Riding solo this week, man like Nams had to do his own thing, so he'll be back next week, but I'm here happily here in the studio with Malik King Scott, so looking forward to kicking in to a bit more of what he's been up to the last couple of weeks and months.
What's up, people?
Yeah,
Malik King Scott, Mr. All Snap.
we might have to put it down in history as well. We've introduced him to a different aspect of London, so we're hoping that he gets to see more of that throughout his trip.
Yeah, definitely. The population over here is much more humane compared to training camp over there on the other side.
Good levels of traffic. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I like that. So listen, guys, it's a pretty quiet weekend of boxing. That's just gone. So really, we're really going to focus on what's been happening in terms of news. Big one, obviously. We got more details of the Joshua offer that went over to Camp Wilder. Also, we're going to be looking at the news of Tyson Fury making his comeback, and date has been announced, and he is signing with Frank Warren. Definitely also going to kick into the fact that King Khan is back in action, representing. He's going to be fighting in Liverpool under the Matchroom banner, something that hasn't happened for a while. And as I said, we've got Malik King Scott in the studio. Philly fighter, right? You're coming out of Philly
originally from Philadelphia.
There's a lot of pressure there. There's a lot of fighters synonymous with that city. So.
Yeah, definitely, man. Hardcore to the death, man. North Side, to be exact, 26 and Jefferson, from the Athletic Rec Center.
Yeah.
A bunch of lost kids that, found our way. Yeah. Coming from the tough neighborhood, and boxing was our savior. So
that's the good thing we love about boxing. It changes people's lives around, no matter what element you get in, whether it's actually fighting or coaching or promoting. So definitely looking forward to speaking to you about that more later on. Obviously, Nam was supposed to do his bit, so he won't, but he's also saying bonjour to everybody. But we're going to also talk about Frampton. He's taken on a respectable challenge in the form of Nonito Donaire, and we also got a packed card over in the US. We've got Adrian Broner headlining against Vargas, and we're looking forward to see the Charlo take on Hugo Centeno, and Tank Davis is back, so a lot of pressure on him. But guys, we're going to kick into, I guess, the interview with the main man who's in the studio again. Thanks for joining us, brother. So just tell us, give our London listeners what you've been up to, what brought you to London, how things been.
Yeah, well, I'm on I haven't fought since I lost to Luis Ortiz, but boxing is my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Since I've been 12 years old. So when I'm not fighting, I'm in training camps. When I'm not in training camps, I'm fighting. And it will forever be like that. God willing, as long as I'm healthy and striving and smiling. But lately, I've just been keeping myself in dangerous territory. And when I say that, I mean like being in camps with young lions like Joseph Parker, Deontay Wilder. Yeah. Now I'm in camp with David Haye, and I was in camp with Charles Martin before all of that. You know what I mean? So I'm making sure I'm staying sharp. I'm making sure I'm staying in shape. Good. And I'm just feeling good, man.
Iron sharpens iron, so if there's one way to improve your skills, you've got to, like you said, test yourself with the Lions. I mean, for us UK listeners, you mentioned a few names there that everyone's going to want to hear more of. But what made you, again, how did the connection come with Joseph Parker and obviously now David Haye? How did that come about?
Well, I met Joseph Parker I was at Deontay fight when Deontay fought Gerald Washington.
Okay, yeah.
And Joseph Parker and Kevin Berry and Taylor Berry, they came down to the fight. And at that time, they was going into preparation, getting ready for Huey Fury.
Yeah.
And being sort of fact, I just fought Luis Ortiz before that in my style and, with the move. And I don't move as much as Huey.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
so they seen the comparison. They was like, man, even though you good mates, with Deontay, and even we may have to fight Deontay, we not sure. So, shout out to Kevin Berry. He took a chance and put that to the side, and he brought me in, and those guys embraced me as one of their own. And then I went to from Deontay fight with Gerald. I went straight to Las Vegas and started boxing with Joseph Parker.
Nice.
Joseph Parker was fighting Huey Fury here in not here, but in Manchester.
Yeah,
but he was training at David Hayes' gym. So when we came over here, I seen, hey, he was getting ready for Bellew the first time, and I knew, and Bellew he's not a real slick fighter, but he's technically sound.
Yeah.
And I was saying, when I seen him, I was like, well, I'm over here boxing Joe, but this is about to be over. Let me at least, put my hand out to him and let him know if he need my help. I'm here.
Always got a network.
When I told Hay that, he was like, okay, man, I'll keep it in mind. But then he got injured.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then when I came over this time with Joseph Parker, because he was getting ready for AJ, I was with the Parker camp again. After the last week of me boxing Parker, Hay reached out to me and said, yo, brother, I would like, for you to stay 4 or 5 weeks. And, if you can, cool.
Yeah.
If not, all is well. And of course I could, because I look at this boxing thing as you got to take advantage of all opportunities, and you got to strike when the iron's hot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you're looking at fighting a guy or boxing or being in a camp with a guy like David Hay, you're not just boxing David Hay. You're going against the great master mindset of Ishmael Salis.
Yeah.
You're around the energy of Hayes people, and it's a great environment. You're looking at young lions like Joe Joyce, who's extremely dangerous, who I've been very impressed with these last couple weeks being here.
Yeah.
And so that's how me and the David Hay thing came along, and I'm loving it, man.
Yeah.
He actually turned me slight vegan now.
Okay.
I haven't had meat in camp. I haven't drunk juice. I don't drink soda no more.
Yeah.
So, I'm
it's contagious. Veganism can be right. It's hard to maintain, but it can be contagious.
Yeah, definitely. And then I look at it like this too. I'm somebody, I ate the bullshit majority of my life.
Yeah.
Periodically, I would go on diets and watch that. So it doesn't hurt me now. I'm looking at it like the flip is easy for me, because I'm looking at it like, wow, it's about time I start getting the right nutrients into my body. And not even just about boxing. It really has to do with a lot to do with just good health.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
and I think, we could go into a different topic outside of boxing in terms of why you need to be looking at your diet. You're talking about meats and all that type of stuff. Big scandal with a man like Canelo. So,
big time.
He would never turn vegan. But I guess, for you to be in London now, how are you feeling the London vibe generally in terms of, you're seeing the fans? Is it your first time? Is it
No, my first time in the UK was when I fought Chisora. I forgot what year it was, but I fought Chisora, and I came over, and the vibe was crazy. And even before I came here, the London forecast has always been my favorite kind of weather, believe it or not. Even though I'm from America, and I'm from the sunny, and I live in California, and from Philly, where it gets extremely hot. I always loved the forecast. I love the cafe
One
weather.
of the few.
You get what I'm trying to say? I love the sky when it looks like it's about to rain, but it doesn't rain. That shade is like my favorite shade.
It's permanent gray. I know what you mean.
Yeah. Because you can wear almost anything in that weather. You get what I'm trying to say? It's almost like fall all the time.
Yeah, you got no choice sometimes.
Absolutely, I know. True story. So it's
Take
like
off a jacket.
Besides, the vibe is beautiful, man. It's a peace of mind for me. I'm getting good training. I'm eating well. I can't complain, man. God is good. God is the greatest.
And I was aware of the Chisora fight, but in terms of being in camp as well, and going to different fights, being around the press conferences. How do you, they talk a lot about British fans, boxing fans. What would you say in terms of your opinion? What would you say about British boxing fans?
I would say British boxing fans are the most passionate fans I've ever been around, as far as boxing is concerned.
Yeah.
As far as I done been around crazy Eagles fans in Philly, crazy Cleveland fans with LeBron, but when it comes to boxing, you're not going to get more passionate boxing fans than here in the UK. They may go outright sometime, go left wing sometime, but it's all because of the passion of fighting. So you got to respect it. Even if they're against you, you have to respect the passion that they have for the game.
Yeah, so, something I think it's something to fair to say the British fans and the media are very proud of. Yeah. And you hear that Sky Sports talking about. Do you think there'll be more of an interest for US fighters to come over and start to experience that? Is that being sold in the US at all?
It's up to the individual of the fighters. You just have to want to come over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What kind of fighter are you? Are you a country fighter? Are you a state fighter? Or are you a world fighter? You know what I mean? I'm a pugilist. I'm a prize fighter. The location never really bothered me. I done been to the bottom, Australia boxing people. I done been to the UK boxing people, to Russia boxing people. It's just, you know what I mean? This is the hero's journey as far as my life is concerned. So the more I travel and the more I see, the more my mind open, and I'm doing what I love to do, boxing. This sweet science. So
and you spoke about pugilism. So growing up, when you was coming through the amateurs and the ranks, Who did you model yourself on? Who was like?
Well, I come from ABC Gym, so I would have to say David Reed, Zaire Rahim, those guys as far as my home base. And then I went to Northern Michigan University, and I was around the likes of the Dominique Gwynn, who's like a big brother to me. He raised me coming up through high school and stuff like that on college campus. That was tough. And but before I turned professional, my greatest fighter of all time was Lennox Lewis.
Okay.
I always had a huge passion for Lennox Lewis. I love how different he was.
Yeah.
I love how he moved in his own cocoon. I loved how patient he was.
Yeah.
I love how even the fact that most people didn't get him, he still stuck in his lane and did what he did. That was best for him and his ability and for his team. So, of all time, I would say Lennox Lewis. My childhood heroes is the guys that I grew up with, though. And that's still to this day. You know what I mean? Just because somebody is my friend or somebody's close to me don't mean they can't be my hero or somebody that I idolize.
How they inspire you, right?
Absolutely,
and you see
man.
the story as well.
Absolutely.
So,
I give people their roses while they're still alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fair play.
Yeah.
So no, obviously, where you said where were you training? In Philadelphia, which gyms?
North Philadelphia,
Yeah.
26 in Jefferson. The first gym I ever went to was called Champs Gym. It was the original first Champs Gym in North Philadelphia. It was on 26 and Master, I believe. But then a couple months went on, and then I moved to 26 in Jefferson, and that's the Athletic Rec Center. And I met one of my childhood mentors there, whose name is Fred Jenkins. He was a trainer of the whole facility. He trained myself. He trained Zaire Rahim. He trained David Reed. He trained Choo Choo Charlie Brown, the first IBF champ. He trained Rockin' Rodney Moore, 3-time title contender guy that was going after title. So I come from the cloth of real teachers.
Yeah.
I can't tell you too much about coaches, but I could smell a real teacher a mile away. You know what I'm saying? And I'm constantly around guys picking their brains.
Yeah.
I'm constantly around the older guys, the older coaches, the oldest, and picking their brains. You get me around Russ Amber, you get me around what's his name, Sugar Hill Stewart. All of these guys, they'll tell you, man, I'm asking 1,000 questions. I pick Ishmael Solis mine at least 20 times a day.
And I could imagine he's an individual. He strikes me as a real teacher, so he's open to give you that information. I mean,
big time.
Khan, and we'll go back to that in the future, but Khan started working with Joe Gosson.
Joe Goosen was also one of my teachers. Yeah.
So I mean, long term. So a lot of the boxing guys would be like, "Who's this Joe Goosen guy? Why has he left Virgil Hunter?" But I've been telling some fans that listen, this guy is schooled. He's been out of the game for a while, but
and he's well
schooled.
proven. And he's well
exactly.
proven.
If you look at
I'm gonna tell you,
Castillo, Casamayos,
it's hard in this game for a trainer to get one champion. You're extremely blessed.
Yeah.
One brother. He take two brothers.
Yeah.
He take two twin brothers, Jurella's brother, and make them both world champions.
Yeah, exactly.
After that or before that, I can't remember, they brought a guy to him that they said, man, this guy is southpaw, but he can't really punch. You shouldn't train him. This guy just so happened to be a guy named Michael Nunn.
Damn.
Joe take him straight to the top.
Yeah.
He started knocking guys out.
Yeah.
Casamayor's fighting Diego. Casamayor beat Diego. Casamayor leave Joe Goosen.
Yeah.
Diego Corrales come with Joe Goosen.
Yeah.
He beat Casamayor. The
guys,
right.
yeah.
I
So
mean,
it's interesting, and that's I have to say in regards to the Khan fight. That's what's making me intrigued with what he's trying to do with his career, because he does go with. I mean, to me, Virgil Hunter, I see him as a respected coach as well,
definitely
trainer. And with Joe Goosen, I'm like, you know what? That shows that he wants to always maybe improve his ability. Just as a fan looking in from Freddie Roach, Hunter, now Goosen.
Wow.
It says that he wants to learn, not somebody that's just come through the ranks, you know. Not disrespecting
him either.
Trainer. Yes, for trainer.
Joe Goosen definitely don't just come through the ranks.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of people will be thinking like, who is this guy? But
and that's one thing I would say. I'm just gonna put this out here, and people could take it for whether it's good or bad. Sometimes people could be so passionate about something they don't even care if they informed about the good information about something.
Yes,
like for instance, like you have UK fans, they so passionate about just the art of fighting that they don't care about the shit in between. They don't care about contracts. They don't care about what. We'll take Deontay and AJ for a distance.
Yeah.
These fucking fans over here don't care about all this paperwork, contract bullshit, man. They don't care.
They don't care.
No, they want these two guys to fight. And now Eddie Hearn is even to the level that he's saying, you know, these fans, they just want to see the fight. And guess what? They're going to have to wait.
Yeah.
Because as far as paperwork, as far as all that other political stuff, fans, the more passionate fans are, the less they care about the stuff that go on behind closed doors.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying?
And unfortunately, and then what happens, I think, through the passion, you find we call them groupies in a sense of you have your AJ protectors and you have your Wilder fanboys.
Yeah.
For me, I think doing this show, and for people, I'm named as the Wilder spokesman, and I would say purely because I've been speaking his corner for quite a while in a sense of I truly believe Joshua versus Wilder is a 50-50 fight. Right. I think if anybody really would say it, for me, I think Joshua, from what we see, you could say he's technically more well-rounded. But for me, I just think Wilder has something that if you can't outbox him for the full 12 rounds, I think he's going to get to you. And that's not just a simple way of looking at it, but he's got the speed, he's got the accuracy with the punches. I know everyone says the wildness, but for me, it's always when he's got a guy smoked on the rope. So, and I don't want to disrespect you by saying this, but obviously you fought Wilder. I don't know if you've ever sparred Joshua, but just talk to the listeners a bit about what Wilder's power felt like, even though you fought him a few years ago.
I fought him a few years ago, but we've been boxing since we've been coming up as contenders together.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, big time. Okay. We've been sparring together. Before I fought him, we was boxing. Okay. He actually dropped me in sparring with a good right hand, and we got on with the sessions. But I'm going to tell you like this. I was crazy because I was talking to one of the young lions at the gym today about this. Everybody has special abilities. The longer you do something, the more passion you have, it's something that you're going to be special in that field. Deontay Wilder's is his power. Everything in his life could be going wrong. But the fact that he have that right hand to make everything turn around and go right, that's his gift. Now, the scary part is this. Now, the confidence behind it. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Now, actually, to me, it's not even just the right hand no more. His jab is pistol-like. His reflexes is awesome now. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? You see his footwork, his feet work now. A lot of people don't pay attention to the intangible things that this kid do in the ring. You get that shake and bake move he did to Stavern. Like, you don't even see heavyweights do stuff like that.
It's not even that. The worst thing is people don't, exactly like I said, they don't see it and they don't respect it. So they look at it and think, what is this madness that he's doing? But to me, I remember I watched that live and I was like, that's just like the uppercut that just came straight through. I was like, so
especially if it's about growth, we'll say this. My personal opinion, the wildest Deontay ever been was when he fought Audley Harris and had Audley hurt and just went wild. Now, you take that same Deontay and put him up against the Deontay now, that Deontay back then would get smoked. I bet my life on it, less than a round, it will go. So the growth that the kid is making, I mean, it's right there to be seen.
But...
And the rule, even in my opinion, the same rule go for AJ. I watched AJ box Vladimir with my own eyes, and I said, "No, this is different. This is not just somebody boxing Vlad. This kid, he has some shit.
Exactly."
And I said, "Yo, he did more than hold his own with Vlad. He may be world champion. Very soon.
Easy.
And that was." Then, and even then,
you're
at
talking
that time,
about sparring.
Yeah, I watched him and Vlad
okay,
spar.
sorry. I thought you meant in the fight.
No,
sorry.
When he finally fought Vlad, he was much better than when I seen him spar Vlad, even though, in my opinion, he got the better of Vlad in the sparring.
Okay,
without even doing a whole lot, without even trying to take the champ out. It was nothing like that. You could tell he was there to learn, but he was standing his own ground. And in my opinion, he did more than stand his own ground with Vlad. You don't come to Vlad camp and just do what you want. No one. If someone tell you they went to Vlad camp and beat the shit out of him, I'm telling you they're lying. That don't happen. That is not that
it's
kind
more
of
controlled.
Oh, big time. And Vlad is not going for it. He would put you honest. He's another one. He's blessed with the right hand. So ain't nobody, just coming in doing what they want. And when I seen AJ just come in there and hold his own, well-mannered kid, and he fought Vlad a couple years later, that was just destiny for it to happen because the respect was there strong, but they was head on. That fight was supposed to happen. And I believe that with him and Deontay is the same thing. This is the Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns. This is the Mike Tyson.
But is it going to be the Riddick Bo Lewis? Because there's a part of me.
That's the scary part.
There's a part of me that is outside of everything. It's the business. One thing I've never said is that I feel that Joshua's scared. I felt Joshua in the past hasn't been as forward as I probably would have liked to have seen him, especially in the heavyweights. But I don't believe he's afraid. I just think the business. Because let's talk. I'm sure everybody wants to know, but I mean the offer. What's your thoughts on this offer of
what's the offer? 12.5?
It's been 12, supposedly 12.5.
Supposedly 12.5. for me, I'm not really good at speaking on things I don't have a full understanding about. But what I do know is this. Deontay Wilder is not even asking for 50-50. He's not even asking for half and half no more.
Yeah.
They tried that. It didn't go that way. He said, okay, just treat me fair, and I'll come over there and take your titles. But now, when they offered the 12.5, he's like, hold on. I said, treat me fair. Don't kick me in the ass. So now it's almost like insultive. This is from what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? And Deontay's like a brother to me. We talk to each other, a couple of times a week. So it's almost like, as far as the number 12.5, you asking a man that never made that kind of money in his life. Me, nowhere near. So, or not to be disrespectful anyway, I don't even think, have you ever made 12.5? That's what I'm trying to say. So you get what I'm trying to say?
Exactly.
So it's like, I don't know, man. It's tough, but I know Deontay is, in my opinion, worth way more than that offer as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And I feel as though it's a lot more on the table for him to get. And I know Eddie Hearns and AJ, they both know that.
Yeah.
And as far as AJ being scared, I'm not a fan of that. I don't think AJ is scared.
No way.
Because I just look at the approach that he has had with every fighter he's fought.
Yeah.
He fought Vladimir Klitschko. Not one time has he ever called Vladimir out.
Yeah.
He fought Eric Molina, Dominique Brazil, and not one time did he call these guys out or be mean or tough. It's just not him.
Yeah.
It's not in his makeup. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, exactly.
Deontay is a monster.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm trying to say? They're just two different kind of individuals,
and
even
Fury,
in
when
life.
you look at that,
right.
He's a person that speaks. And I think that's the little thing.
Right. And sometimes people could get that mixed up with fear.
Yeah.
I don't think AJ is scared. I know for sure Deontay Wilder's not
I
scared.
don't think either of them are scared. I think, we're going to talk about the financials. For me, I think to say 12.5, I mean, it's always interesting for me. We haven't heard the percentage that Matchroom believe it to be. Because let's just say, even if that is a 30%, 40%, let's say 10 million and it's a 40%. For me, there's no way that they can price this fight so low. Even if there's arguments for it not being $100 million fight, I think you cannot tell me you can't make 60 to a minimum 70 to 100 million throughout this fight if you do the structure well. You've got the gates, you do your pay-per-view, your licenses for all the countries, then your sponsorship deals. I mean, come on, if you do a big tour, for me,
we're talking about Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua.
So,
like, come on.
This is what I mean. If you do a world tour, you look at the blueprint from Mayweather, you just do a couple of cities, it becomes a phenomenon because everybody will be talking about two heavyweights undefeated fighting for all of the belts. Yeah. It's a super fight, no?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
It's a super fight.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to say this. This fight, in my opinion, is not just good for boxing. It's good for the culture.
Yeah.
It's good for our people.
Yeah.
It's good for entertainment.
Yeah.
You got these fights that come around once in the blue that the fights is actually bigger than the fighters.
Yes.
This is bigger than boxing.
Bigger
than Deontay or AJ.
Yeah.
This fight has to happen.
Yeah.
And if they both, I look at them as both two young kings.
Yeah.
If they both the kind of kings that I believe they are, they'll make sure this happen.
Yeah,
not just for themselves,
but
for the people.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
So,
especially our people.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
you obviously you exactly. I mean, you're close to Wilder, but do you think there's any chance of we getting a sort of like a rumble in the jungle potential fight in we would say maybe Lagos or somewhere in South Africa? Do you think there's any chance Wilder will be up for traveling there for that fight?
Deontay will go anywhere and fight. Yeah. He'll go anywhere and fight, and I know that for a fact. And I believe AJ will go anywhere. Like, these, in my opinion, like, these are things you should want to do.
Yeah.
Especially like you guys doing this haven't been done in years. Why not take it to the motherland?
Yeah.
Like, what? Okay, AJ is Nigerian.
Yes, he's Nigerian.
Why not put it in Nigeria?
Yeah.
Deontay would be totally with it.
Yeah.
He's Wakanda out.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen you see on his Instagram profile
yeah,
bro, Senegalese warriors.
He's with it. So I'm just hoping both of them do something special for the culture.
Yeah.
And realize that this thing is much bigger than the both of them, or even bigger than boxing.
Yeah.
This is for the, like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, we all need this.
Yeah.
The fans, the people, the kids, we need this.
We want to see, and I think it's the fight that needs to be made. It's the fight that everybody wants to see.
Yeah.
So from my point of view, I'm just hoping the contracts can get made. There's been rumours of a counter offer. Obviously, Jacobs is fighting next week, so Hearn's supposedly going to be in New York. So we can just hope.
Yeah, but and then I don't want people to get a misconstrued. Just because Eddie is coming to America, don't mean he's coming there to even say Deontay Wilder's name. Because he go like, I don't know, man. These guys, they go like he'll go to New York and start talking about Jarrell Miller fighting AJ. And Deontay Wilder is like, yo, hold on. What are you doing?
I mean, the thing is...
But this is the business.
Yeah.
And Eddie Hearns, didn't believe it or not, even if he haven't been down this road before, he come up in this game, so he didn't seen it all. So he's looking at everything from a business point of view.
Exactly. He's just trying to be tactical and strategic. But I think I have to be honest, I do think... And I don't know if the Americans might not appreciate it as much, but like the British boxing fans that have knowledge, I think they're kind of not allowing Eddie Hearn to put up this smoke screen a lot. I mean, the casuals, like
from what I'm seeing, and from what I'm hearing, I believe that as well.
Yeah,
I'm starting to notice that.
Honestly, and it's not just like even not just this platform, other platforms.
Yeah,
like you just general conversations. I think the conversation is, I don't want to see a Joshua fight anyone but Wilder.
Right.
So people that know boxing, that's
their way of striking it. Like, don't give us that, give us this.
So and there's no way throughout everything Hearn has said. There's no way you can justify a Miller fight. It's just for me, in my opinion, he can't even say we need to introduce Anthony Joshua to the US. What better way than Deontay Wilder?
Right.
If you look at the track record of Wilder's 2 fights and the numbers they're saying he's done. So yeah, we hope to get that, see that one happening. So also we've got Amir Khan. Obviously, I'm sure King Khan, definitely familiar with him. He's back in the ring. What do you know about Phil LaGreco? Because I have to be honest, I don't have a huge amount of knowledge on him.
Phil LaGreco, that's
I think he's Italian, New York native.
But he's with a Khan, right?
He's fighting Khan.
Yeah, he's fighting Khan. Yeah, the guy that was at the press conference and Khan threw the water.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know too much about him, but I like I like the morale behind his personality at the press conference.
He took it to him.
He took it to him. And from what I seen today, actually on my way over here, I looked at the video of the kid, and he took training serious. He's in some shape.
Yeah.
He's much smaller than he was the day of the press conference.
You could see.
And I think there's no secret about the Khan brand. If he can box you and he could do his thing, he's going to win. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
If Khan can just be Khan and not get hit, you don't have a chance.
This is boxing.
But, the chin, that's the whole thing.
And this is boxing.
Right.
So we're going to quickly open up the lines to a couple of callers.
Okay.
985. The floor is yours. Looks like our resident Daniel. Hello. Hello. Yes, mate. How are you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You good?
Yeah. Very well, thank you. Very well.
Appreciate that.
Just want to big up you yourself, Kojo, and Malik in the studio there. Basically what he was saying about British fans. Yeah, we don't give a shit about contracts. We just want to see fighters get in there and fight. And it's as simple as that, really. And obviously Khan's fighting on Saturday. Hopefully he can get a good win, and then later on in the year we can see him fight Kell Brook. That'll be good.
That'll be good. Absolutely, I agree.
Definitely,
I agree, brother.
Listen, bro, there's a bit of background noise, so we might have to cut you out. But you want to call back later?
Yeah, I'll call back in a bit.
All right, no problem, no worries. So we're gonna go out to 488. 488. The floor is yours.
Hey guys, it's Dave Joe Hal from the Boxing Voice. How's it going, guys?
How you doing, Dave? You well?
What's up, brother?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
What's on your mind?
Yeah, a lot of action. It's a case of what am I going to tape, what am I going to watch live, and what am I going to stay up for, I suppose, on Saturday night. Broner's back in action against Vargas, Frampton Donaire, Khan against LaGreco. LaGreco's only lost to, I believe, Errol Spence and Sean Porter on points decision. So he's had 2 tough fights against those two. But I think he's here to put on a good display. But I think Khan should dispose of him, just with his boxing pedigree, to be fair. And he's clearly matured as a fighter, even though he was KO'd horribly by Canelo a few years ago. So I think he's going to put on a good show for us. So I'm really looking forward to see what he's got left in the tank.
Perfect. And talking about the negotiations, what's your thoughts on the Joshua versus Wilder negotiations?
I mean, it's alleged and it's hearsay and so on and so forth. But if it is allegedly 12.5, negotiations have to start somewhere, I suppose. But 12.5 does seem very low if that is the case. But as your guest was saying, look, these guys can take it absolutely anywhere. They're world champions. It's not a case of if this fight's going to happen; it's a case of when. And it, the spectacle is going to be so big. It's just going to be a case of. Do you remember how when Pacquiao and Mayweather was back and forth negotiation, he said, she said, and eventually it happened. It's going to be like that.
Yeah.
And this spectacle is going to be absolutely massive. Two unbeaten heavyweights who've got the power to literally, destroy each other in a barrage of punches or even one KO punches. I mean, it could be. I can't wait. Negotiators have to start somewhere. But if it is 12.5, it does seem relatively low. But who knows? Who knows what's being said behind closed doors?
No. Appreciate that. Listen, thank you very much, Dave, for calling in. Definitely got to keep in touch. Are you going to be at the any of the fights soon? Are you at any fights soon? You attending any fights?
Possibly at the card one.
Okay.
Possibly at the card one. So yeah, I hope to see you guys around, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you at Presser soon.
All right, buddy.
Take it
care.
easy. Cheers.
Have a good one.
Cheers. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, so Malik, just going back to obviously the Joseph Parker or Anthony Joshua Joseph Parker fight that took place.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on Parker's performance? Obviously, you were training with him, and what did you think of the fight overall?
I was extremely proud of Joe. I thought both guys did what they had to do. I thought the chances Joe Parker did try to take, the referee was interfering a lot. It's no secret you got to get close to Joshua, at least in my opinion. Yeah. Especially if you're shorter to him, you have to get close to him. And this is fighting. So at times, the ref wasn't allowing that to go on. I thought AJ did a good job in his thing, what he was doing. Yeah. But I don't know if I don't know what they say in business. Numbers don't lie, and they say you're as good as your last song in entertainment, and you're as good as your last fight in boxing. Yeah. And I say that from a good point of view and a bad point of view. So if we're going off of you as good as your last fight in boxing, then we'll take Deontay Wilder last 2 fights, and then take AJ last 2 fights. Yeah. And it is what it is because you got Stavern and Ortiz. Yeah. And you have Takam Parker.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I was at both of them, and
Parker did himself no wrong. No shame. He did himself no shame. Yeah. I was extremely proud of that dude.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think he definitely he fought well. I have to be honest, I didn't think he would. I thought Joshua was going to stop him, mainly because, and I think it was the same with the Ortiz thing. I've known Ortiz for a while, but with Parker, I hadn't seen that much of him. So the fights I had seen, which was the Ruiz. I saw highlights of the Takam and the Fury fight. I wasn't that person,
especially the Fury fight. Fury is not the easiest person to fight for anybody. And then, with Joe's style and his style, it just didn't mix. And
and there was a bit of again, I'm a boxing fan, so there was a bit of hype about this kid coming out from New Zealand. Yeah. Stocky, got that Mike Tyson kind of look in terms of the black shorts.
So you see that,
and I was like, huh? I was very surprised, and it was difficult to even see what he does well. So it's only when I started looking at him a bit more and I was like, actually, no, he's got really good footwork. Speed of his hands, he's able to just throw them up. So
he can be very elusive when he wants to as well.
Yeah. So I respected him. But I think you're right. He'd done 12 rounds. He didn't look like he was really going to be stopped at all by Joshua.
And I don't even think he got hit with anything big.
That's what was disappointing. And I have to say, on that basis, it was disappointing. I was disappointed with his performance a little bit. He couldn't put it more on him. But then I do know the ref. It was kind of those weird ones because then you remember the ref.
I'm going to tell you something.
I wanted to see him try a bit more, You
mean AJ?
No, Parker. Go at him at least maybe the last 3 rounds, 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen that.
He didn't put his foot all the way down on the gas, how a lot of us would have liked to see.
Right.
But me being a fighter, I know how it feel under them lights. I know how I feel to want to take a chance, but then overthinking and, not want to put yourself in harm's way. And believe it or not, they both had the utmost respect for each other. Yeah, and that's what kind of fight that was.
Because it became technical. Once it becomes at that technical level, you know that nobody wants to make any type of error. So that's when I was like, you know what, I've got to give this guy his credit.
And then if that's the case, then the way we're saying that the last 3 rounds, we wish he would have stepped on the gas. Well, we could also say that about AJ, because to me, he didn't step on the gas one time in the fight as well. He was content. I won't even say his name, but I had one of them, a very famous trainer and Cutman called me and tell me, he said, "Yo, man, that fucking fight was crazy." I said, "What you mean?" He said, "One wouldn't, and the other one was happy that he wouldn't."
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
So it's fair play.
I probably wouldn't word it like that, but I knew what he was trying to say. So,
it's fair play.
It looked like AJ was happy that Parker was fighting the way he was fighting.
Precisely.
He was content with that.
Because he's trying to get into this sweet science, maybe saying what is the Klitschko days. And for me, the Joshua Parker fight was all about, for me, Joshua to give me something to make me sway my decision that this is more than a 50-50 fight.
Right.
That's what I want to see, because when I think that it's like that Mayweather Pacquiao thing, when every time you watch one of them, you want to say, nah, you know what, I think this guy's got the edge, and then you see the other guy and you're like, I think he's kind of got the edge. And for me, one of the smartest things I felt out of the Luis Ortiz fight for Wilder was when he got whacked in the 7th round. Mm-hmm. He was hurt, but he just used his size and he just smothered him.
Yeah.
And people were like, he's all over the place. I'm like, yeah, you don't understand. That's bought him a bit of time. And at that level, when you're hurt, I mean, let's be honest, I half thought he was gone. So at that level, 3 seconds, you say it as a fighter, 3-4 seconds, it makes all the difference.
Oh, big time, yeah.
So,
especially when you're in trouble.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
and
sure.
so no, I think it was definitely good to see him react like that. But yeah, everybody was.
Just the irony of things is crazy, because I can almost bet my life that if Deontay had a performance how AJ had against Parker, they would shred him to pieces.
Yeah.
Over here, it's almost like they're rewarding AJ for that kind of performance, which they should, because he captured some more territory as far as unification is concerned.
Yeah.
But as far as the actual fight, I mean,
the thing is, I think, and this is where it is. So I can say with the British fans, I think, again, it's those that know a bit about boxing and those that don't. So you have those that will have this argument that he's got 3 belts, so he automatically deserves a bigger person, this, that, and the other. And we're like, yes, but it doesn't mean he can delay trying to obtain the 4th belt if that's his end goal.
Right.
And then you get those that are like, no, actually, for him to really be considered as a great and to really make these like records that they're claiming true, he needs to face this guy, because Wilder is a guy that's same size as him, maybe he's faster than him, probably hits just as hard as him, and is not afraid of him. So some guys I feel might be beat, not all, but some might be beat before they get in the round. So the ring. So like you said, it's intense.
And then it's not like you're fighting AJ at a little ballroom.
Exactly.
You're fighting him in front of 70, 80,000, everyone saying his name.
Yeah.
The walk to the ring. Like, it's a lot. That's why I was proud of.
So was that that wasn't your first Joshua fight then?
Yeah, no. I was with Dylan when Dylan fought AJ.
Okay. Yeah,
I worked Dylan corner for that fight. I was in the corner with Jonathan Banks.
And that was 02.
That was 02.
Yeah. So, but I mean, you've seen, obviously, it's probably a difference now, not just attendance, but like the whole crowd.
The AJ hold. Yeah. Oh, that's a totally different thing now.
Right? It's a massive thing. So, how does Parker feel once he's into that? I mean, how does he prepare for that? Is that something you discuss as fighters? Like, man, we're going into like 70,000.
I believe it's just who you are as an individual predicts on how you're going to handle that type of, because that's huge pressure.
Yeah.
Whatever fan that is passionate or the loudest about boxing, I guarantee you they wouldn't make it through the walkway. They wouldn't make it to the walk to the ring.
Yeah.
That is extreme. Like, you get what I'm trying to say?
So we can't even picture it. I mean,
like I'm telling you, that's why I was saying that Joseph Parker, he's a type of individual that all day he's laughing. All day he's high-fiving.
Yeah.
I watch him have rough days at the gym. After the headgear is took off his head, he's like, hey, man, everything's good. Ha, ha, ha. It's how he is as a person. So he don't look at like 70 or 80,000 like, it's a death sentence right now. He looking at it like, hey, this is life. This is my journey. I'm in it. Like, he's looking at it like he's embracing his journey.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? And to have that mindset under those circumstances when you're walking into war or the Lions Den, what they call over here.
Yeah.
You're a special kind of person.
Yeah, no.
And I believe Joseph Parker is a special human being.
Yeah.
Like, and I tell everybody that.
And so in terms of the heavyweight march, they said this month, the previous month would be big. I think it's proven to be, and not just the fact that you've had Parker and Luis Ortiz lose. I think they've lost with credibility. So people would say, I think they could still contest.
For sure.
Even if it's not the Joshua Wilder, the interesting, your Dylan Whites, your Povetkins if he challenges.
For sure.
David Hayes, I'm not sure what your plans are. We'll get into that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you see. So
Absolutely.
for me, I think it makes the heavyweight scene interesting now and entertaining because you can make fights.
Brother, like those names you just named, those are our known contenders. Then you got these young. I'm telling you right now, Tony Yoka and Joe Joyce is coming.
Yeah.
Bro,
yeah, I have to be. Joe Joyce, he done. I think Joe Joyce from the Olympics.
Listen to what I'm telling you, brother.
Really good.
Yeah, machine.
Yeah,
I've never seen a big man like that. That's not afraid to let his hands go throughout the rounds.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm trying to say? He's definitely coming. He's going to make noise. Remember?
So it's interesting because he's now facing Leroy
Thomas, which is a very good fight for him.
Right. So that's going to be really interesting because it's all about
Leroy beat
Dave Allen.
Which, in all fairness, the White Rhino is totally different than the Juggernaut.
Of course, yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But I've spent time with Leroy. I used him when I was boxing Luis Ortiz. He's known in America as a very tough, crafty southpaw with respectable power.
Yeah.
He has a big heart, and you know he's coming to win. And then you have to look at it like, what about Joe Joyce? This is only his third or fourth fight.
This is what I was just about to say. It's the fast track. So
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
and he's embracing his journey as well. Like he's with it.
Yes,
he'll fight anybody.
Yeah.
Like so, I'm just saying, man. These young lions that's coming. That's what. Then you got Darmani Rock from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He signed with Rock Nation.
Okay,
and you got a kid named what's his name? I just was talking about this kid from Philip. I forgot his name, but he's from not Turkey. He's from Croatia.
Okay.
Monster.
Okay.
But everyone knows him that's in the know.
I know there's a guy with a call from Poland, number K. It's a number K. His surname starts with a K.
Yeah, but it's so many of these guys.
There's a lot of guys.
So not only is the heavyweight division sizzling right now, it's going to be sizzling for a long time. It's boxing.
This is what I mean. It's going to be. It will be entertaining. I truly feel. You know. Let's go out to a couple of calls. I see that we've got someone on line 269. 269. How you doing?
Hi, how you doing? You all right?
Yes.
Yeah, good, thank you. I'm all right, man. Sorry, I just literally logged on, was calling while I'm on the bus. I just wanted to big up Raps on the TV.
No worries, no one. Appreciate that, brother. What's on your minds?
What is on my mind? Well, I want to see how Khan gets on this weekend. You know, and hopefully if he wins, it could be a showdown between him and Brook. I hope he doesn't lose. It could be it would be upsetting if he loses. But hopefully he wins.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll get the win. I'm sure he'll get that win.
Yeah. Sorry, who's the guest you got in there?
We've got Malik King Scott here.
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Sorry, I just literally logged on, so
okay,
I'm
no
gonna
worries.
have to listen online to the whole show. But just wanted to give you a big up.
No worries, appreciate that, man. You've seen the Joshua Wilder offer, 12.5. Is it fair?
No, it's not fair. I don't see how they should give Wilder a flat rate. It doesn't make sense to me. I think they're just trying to. I still feel that they don't want him. And I still feel that they don't actually want the fight, hence why they've just given him a flat rate. They should give him a percentage. Do you know anything about the counter offer that Wilder's given?
I don't know nothing about the counter offer.
No, me neither. I mean,
there's no news on that yet.
Yeah, the only statement that came with it, they said that it will prove he will either want the fight or he will not want the fight. This was regarding Joshua. So there's been rumours about 2 fights, but nothing concrete.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, don't take my word for it, but I've heard how Wilder's actually come back with a counter offer. So, I mean, the question is where is he going to be getting the funds from in order to make that offer? However, I know Showtime's very interested in the fight, so don't know.
Yeah, you got the networks. You got Vegas. If they somehow wanted to get that to Vegas, I mean, there's definitely options.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is as well is like, you know, a lot of people. Well, there's quite a few people saying that this ain't a $100 million fight. I feel it could be possibly. Number one. Number two, I don't see why you're going to give Wilder flat a 12.5 million. Is it $12.5 million?
Yeah, that's
or pound?
Dollars.
Dollars?
Yeah, $12.
Dollars. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how you could offer Wilder $12.5 million and not a percentage.
Yeah.
Surely, if you offer them a percentage and he does it, he's just going to build the fight even more.
Exactly.
Like, I personally don't feel that he should take that offer. Of just a flat rate. Should be percentage-wise, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel that fight could still, although Eddie Hearn has his estimations, like I still feel with more promotion, this fight could actually grow even more.
Brother, you know,
even down to like.
Sorry, carry on.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, we can hear the ice cream van in the background, man.
I know.
Is this your part-time job, brother?
I heard it too, bro.
Hang on, I'm just serving the customer.
Yeah.
So, I feel like they could even possibly do what Mayweather and McGregor done and, visit a few cities.
Exactly.
And make the fight grow even more, but
I agree with you.
Eddie Hearn ain't on that, is he?
I mean, it's a super fight, right? I think if we're going to talk about your Lewis Tysons, Holyfield Tysons, Mayweather Pacquiao, Mayweather De La Hoya, it's a super fight, right?
Yeah, it is definitely a super fight.
Yeah.
It's a massive fight. I mean, I feel it's going to be bigger than the Klitschko and Joshua fight.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing is, I know Wilder doesn't sell as much as Joshua, but I don't feel that's really down to Wilder. I think we can blame him for that. Mm-hmm. I personally think in regards to boxing in America, I don't know, they're not investing much money in that weight division.
Yeah.
Sure.
Fighters generally. But listen, Jay, we've got a bit of background noise from you, so we're going to cut that there. But I appreciate your support.
Okay.
Yeah,
thanks
that's
for calling in, brother.
Appreciate you calling
Cheers.
in, bro. Take it easy, man.
Nice one.
Cheers, nice one. We're going to go out to 081. The floor is yours. Mic check 1, 2. Hello.
Yes, lad. How you doing, Nicholas here?
How you doing, Nicholas? You well?
I'm all right, bro. How you doing?
Good. We're all good. We're all good here. I'm here with Malik King.
Nicholas, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm all right, brother. You good?
Yes, sir.
So what's on your mind,
all
bro?
right, good. Okay, so quick question. Because obviously, my bad, I missed the beginning of the show, so I'm not sure if you covered it or not. But what do you feel about the current state of the negotiations? So obviously, the first offer was made, which was a poor offer. I've just read today that Eddie Hearn is saying that he wants to go and fly out and meet with those guys. So do you think he's sincere in what he's saying? Do you think he actually really trying to make this deal happen with what they said last week with basically if they don't make the fight, they have to take all these all of these other fights just to defend. So do you feel that he's actually been sincere what he wants? He actually really wants to try and make the deal, or he's just going to stall it, and because he doesn't really want to face Wilder right now?
Brother, this Malik.
I know what I think about it.
I feel as though whenever you hear Eddie Hearn is going to America to sit down and talk to people, don't never get it misconstrued. He's not going to go talk to Deontay Wilder and Deontay Wilder's people. He's going there for Danny Jacobs and Jermell Miller. Mm-hmm. So I believe the answer that everybody is looking for about concerning what is Eddie Hearn's going to do when it's about Joshua and Wilder, the answer is going to be right there depending on how Miller deals with Duopai fight. Eddie is playing chess, not checkers. Now, say if Jermell Miller gets smoked by Duopai for some strange reason, I guarantee you, in Eddie's mind or his plans, it puts Wilder and Joshua close together. I know that analogy seemed crazy because we're looking at it like, well, Joshua beat Duopai. Why is Jermell Miller and Duopai the fight that's almost like determining if AJ is going to fight Miller or Wilder next? Like, you get what I'm trying to say? This is the games that comes across that it seems like Eddie is playing. So if you're really looking to know what Eddie's next move is going to be, give it about 4 or 5, 6 days after Jermell Miller and Duopai fight. if Jermell Miller smokes Duapai out, Eddie's going to hop on that and promote that win for Miller so much that he's going to make it seem like the public is demanding Miller versus Joshua now. When we are demanding Deontay versus Joshua. It's almost like they're trying to go around the fight as much as possible. And it's like, yo, get these two guys in the ring, man. This fight is not, like I was just telling my man, it's bigger than boxing. This fight is for the culture. Yeah. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? It's lives on the line. Like, yo, this fight has to happen. So just because he's going to America, that does not mean he's going there to talk business to Deontay Wilder's people. Because it's a coincidence. Because if that's the case, then, in my opinion, it's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah, to let us know that you're serious about the fight, then the minute after Joshua collected the WBO belt from Joseph Parker, get on the plane 4 days later and get to America and let the people know, like, oh, we just got the title. I'm here in America right now with Shelly Finkel and Al Heyman. We're trying to get things done. But hold on, you going to America the week of Danny Jacobs. No, that's not saying you get ready to go do business with Wilder. Like, you get what I'm saying? And this is the frustration Deontay be dealing with right here, because he's always saying he's fooling the people. He comes all the way to America and start talking about Jermell Miller fight. He comes like you, and listen, bro, this thing got nothing to do with Jermell Miller because he's a tough young lion. Yeah, but nobody wants to see. Nobody wants to see that. Not now. Not now anyway. Right. It make people that even don't know Jermell Miller say, you know what, fuck him. Because y'all bullshitting with the real fight. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah, exactly. Like, let Jermell Miller be in his own space, man. Yeah, he's a young lion. Every young lion won a title shot, but sometimes they got to wait. Sometimes they got to take step-aside money. And I didn't watch Deontay give mandatory step-aside money to get certain fights done. You get what I'm trying to say? Bro, don't forget, AJ was supposed to fight Ortiz.
Exactly.
Eddie Hearn signed Ortiz basically to keep him away. Like, so you got to, like... Bro, I call these word semantic games that these promoters be playing. But right now, to me, they're doing it at a time when they're playing these games with the wrong fighters, because everyone wants to see this fight. Even if you're not an AJ fan or a Wilder fan, you want to see this fight. People always talking about the heavyweight division is dead. Boxing is dead. Boxing. All right, now that boxing is back, the promoters' antennas should be up and saying, now we're going to keep it alive and breathing. Make these big fights happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, make these big fights happen, man.
I mean, imagine all the young fighters now that get to see. Imagine we get this Wilder Joshua fight through it happens, and you got all the young fighters, the amateurs. Like,
it's motivating. It's inspiring.
Yeah, it's huge.
Like, it's you rely off a whole generation,
Yeah, so, bro, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it needs to happen, but definitely, I feel like the promoters, one promoter is definitely just longing it out as much as possible, and it's not really, it's too much about the cash and maybe about the reputation. He's worrying more. I feel like he's more worried about AJ's reputation than AJ himself.
Hey, brother, you want to know something? Let me share something with you. You know what that offer kind of remind me of? It remind me of, like, say if somebody tell you to call them, right? But you're like, I'll get to that call when I can. And then you call them and you let the phone ring for 3 times and you hang up and say, well, I called. You didn't pick up, man. I called. Yeah, exactly. That's how it seemed Eddie Hearn did this deal. Well, we gave him an offer. He didn't accept it. Hold on, man. You almost, bro, you tried to Benny move and doing without Vaseline is what you did. That's not an offer.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm trying to say?
Nah, it was.
Like, these are semantic games that, bro, Eddie think he's playing chess. And then the people that's always behind Joshua, or the people that's like these passionate UK fans, when you can make them turn at you and look at you like, hold on, you're fucking us around. Stop doing this, Eddie. Because now I be hearing more UK fans saying, hold on, what the fuck is Eddie doing? Let's get this going.
Yeah, no, good.
Exactly. I'm an AJ fan, but even I have to admit, like, this is.
I don't really know nobody. I don't even know nobody that's not an AJ fan. Exactly. I like watching AJ fight.
Yeah,
you get what I'm trying to say? I love watching Deontay. That's what I'm saying. The fight is such a passionate fight for boxing fans, for people that's not boxing fans. Yeah. My son always asks me when they go to fight. I got a daughter that's 5 years old. That every time I go away, she's saying, "Daddy, is your brother Deontay going to fight AJ yet?" This is crazy.
Yeah, it's wicked.
So listen, it has to happen, brother.
Mungo, we're going to move on.
Yeah, it has to.
We're going to touch on the next subject. But thank you very much for calling in. Appreciate the support.
No worries, Kojo. Thanks a lot, Marcus, man. I appreciate that.
Malik.
Malik, brother.
All right,
brother. Malik, brother.
All right,
bro.
So listen, also, we had Tyson Fury's back in the game. what's your thoughts on him actually making his return? I mean,
the Mac is back, right?
The Mac is back, yeah.
Mac is back. And
have you had any, in terms of like sparring, been in any camps?
Years ago, I sparred with him. I think we was in Sweden. He bust my eardrum the very first time we boxed. We boxed again. Like, he's just, he's special in his own right. You know what I mean? And what he did in Dusseldorf, I'll never forget. I was there ringside and seen it. But
is that with Banks, because you
I was with
Jonathan?
No, I was with Dylan White.
Okay.
Dylan White was being trained by Jonathan Banks. Jonathan Banks was training Vladimir. So wherever Jonathan went, we had to go.
So
it was that type of thing. It's crazy how this thing goes.
So I'm telling you, man, it's amazing the way the networking boxing is very.
So what he did to Vladimir that night, you can't forget that. And he opened the lanes up in the heavyweight division with the titles. He opened
he says it, and I think people that are not really familiar with understanding how he fights, switch hitting, keeping you at range, keeping the jab out, coming in with the right. I think for me, they don't appreciate how good of a fighter he is. And he is the man who beat the man who beat the man. And for us boxing fans, it's very important. Like, no disrespect to somebody like a Charles Martin, but I will never see him as a heavyweight champion in the sense of you know what I mean, a Joshua or a Wilder.
For sure, brother.
Do you know what I mean, with that Houston off. So for me, I think Fury did an amazing job. I couldn't believe he was going to get the decision.
Brother, he fought Derek. And then what he did in Dusseldorf almost make people forget other fights that he looked great in.
Yeah.
The Chisora rematch. He fought Southpaw almost the whole fight.
I mean, even the first fight. That was
first fight.
That's the first time I watched Fury. And I remember
was the first Chisora fight?
Yeah, it was the first Chisora fight. And he was doing all these antics, like looking out of the ring and putting the glove on his head and just literally what we call in the UK, buoying him off. It was making him look like his son. Yeah. And I was like, who the hell is this guy? And then you start looking at from a bit more and you realize, shit, you know what? And I don't know what you know about gypsies in the US, but in the UK,
fighters.
Right. Yeah. So it's like a global thing for them.
Yeah, big time, yeah.
So for us, when I realized he was a gypsy, I was like, okay, this guy's good. But I think people don't appreciate his talent. So he's going to see his return. I mean, do you think he can hit, when I say the heights of the Klitschko, do you think it's possible with the layoff, the mindset? I mean, I don't know.
We're going to see, man. But I know that's a long layoff. And, it's not like he was laying off and still was training.
Yeah.
He laid off. He went into depression, got extremely big. Shout out to him for getting the weight off now. He's looking better. But we're going to see where his mind frame is at and where his confidence is at. Because right now, if you look on the internet, you see him looking confident, smiling, and training. That's one type. But when you get under the lights and you're back in action how you used to be, is that fire still burning? And right now, how these young lions is looking out here, if that fire is not still burning how it once was, he's going to get smoked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody's going to smoke him. And speaking of that, I'm not sure if he having an opponent yet for his next fight, but if he don't, Malik King Scott is willing, ready, and able, and I'm already here in the UK.
Okay, all right.
So you ain't got to pay for my plane ticket.
Yeah, exactly. No more. You just get extra stay in that hotel. I'll say, you know what? Very oddly enough, his trainer is somebody that we're connected to on Ben Davison. So I don't know what they've got planned, but we might just send them a message and say,
definitely,
listen,
brother. Yeah, Malik
why
Scott
not?
is willing, ready, and able.
Because my next question really was going to be, who do you think his first two opponents should be?
From what I heard, they tried to do Sombrano Love. And to want to fight Sombrano Love is like, I heard the commission wouldn't even sanction a fight.
Yeah, exactly.
And that right there was like, you can't do that. And there's no telling who is he going to fight. Like, I really don't know. I heard it was Kevin Johnson.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I heard it was Kevin Johnson because I was looking at the press conference and I heard Frank Warren at the beginning of the press conference. He said, "I'm happy to announce that Fury is fighting Johnson again." And I was like, "Dang!" He said that because it was supposed to be a secret. But if you look at the beginning of it, he said,
I might check
check it out, brother."
Yeah,
so it's no telling, like, you know what I mean. But
I mean, it's not a bad opponent, to be fair.
He fought him already.
He
fought him already. Johnson, like, if Tyson is not on point and Johnson is his first fight back. Kevin has just won like an IBA title. He's been training. So, like, you know what I mean? I don't think they should. I don't know,
It's
brother.
a good start. I mean, to be honest, I'm not, and I know you would hate, but like for me, when Hake fought the guys like Demore and those guys, I was like,
right, yeah.
For me, I think Johnson is not bad. I don't think that's bad at all. I mean, I think it would be good to see him potentially fight even, I mean, I know it would be far, but even maybe 3-4 fights maybe a Chisora. I think that will kind of get him back within the full UK public.
A third fight?
Yeah, like his third fight back. Because how long? They're saying 3 to 4 fights, but I don't know. It depends on how frequently he's out there. But Tyson Fury is really a 12-round fighter. Mm-hmm. His knockout is good, but his knockout ratio is good, but it's not, amazing. So I would imagine he's going to be going the distance with most of these guys, or at least to the later rounds. Mm-hmm. So for me, I think a Chisora fight, that would be really interesting. I think it would motivate Chisora as well.
Me too. I think it will motivate Chisora because... we all know Derek a junkyard dog.
Yeah, right.
When he's motivated, he's dangerous for anybody. Yeah.
I mean, that's why it would have been good to see him rematch Dillian White.
Why didn't that happen? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I think it's the policy. It wasn't worth it because I think most people that watched that fight thought Chisora won, and basically Chisora lost 3 points before he even stepped in the ring because he had the fiasco about throwing his table. So they feel that really, I think that was a very difficult fight for him. Probably one of his.
But Derek be playing chess as well. He everything he do, in my opinion, is calculated. Oh, his most craziest moments, he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah,
he's a good promoter. He's a dangerous fighter. And fuck what I'm saying. Ask Vitaly Klitschko, is he dangerous? Yeah. Ask Dylan White, who's a beast, is he dangerous? Yeah. Ask me, he's dangerous.
He's dangerous.
I mean, I've never seen him fight somebody and not give him a hell of a go.
The thing is with Chisora, he just doesn't get respect because he's lost to guys. But I mean, outside of the probably Dillian White fight, he's only really lost to guys that were champions.
Right.
Pulev. I mean, the Hellenius one, that was a robbery. Everyone knows he won that. Exactly, everyone knows that.
Fight.
Klitschko, as you mentioned, So actually, when you think about who's he really lost to, but people just see the losing the fight for a title. Obviously, I don't know what we got. Carl Frampton, who's back fighting man like Nonito Donaire over in Belfast. That's going to be a good action-packed kind of hometown glory. Yeah, he's fighting Nonito Donaire. Yeah, this is also this Saturday. So we're starting, and this is you wouldn't have listened to the show, but for us, we've been a big advocate for when we started the show last year. Sorry, the year before. It was kind of like, in our mind, it was like boxing is back. It's growing, and now you're seeing it in a sense of
it's a lot of promoters.
Yeah, and there's 2 promoters organizing fights on the same night, and you saw that with Wilder when you had the Kovalev fight, and
the
then
HBO
the Bivol,
show,
right? And it's just like, what we're supposed to do, I'm flicking between 2 channels. So, so that should be an interesting one. Looking forward to seeing what Carl Frampton can bring back.
Because that's not an easy fight.
This is credible. It's a credible.
Very credible.
Fight. He's good. You're going to look at his record, as fans like to say sometimes. But I like Frampton. I think he's a good fighter. I think in terms of he's changed culture, he's no longer with the McGuigans. He's now training.
I heard they having beef. They got some serious.
Sometimes it's all linked to finance. Probably. I mean, you probably would know more than all of us. But so it's going to be interesting to see how he reacts to that against a credible opponent. Then before we move on, we're going to quickly talk about the US show. So you got Adrian Broner fighting Vargas. You got Davis, who's fighting Quella, and you got Charlo fighting Santino. I mean, just give me a bit of background on your opinion on those 3 either fights or individual fighters.
I love the card because it's like almost the most popular fighters in the game. It's all on one card. That goes to show, like, boxing is alive and breathing. They go back to that right there. Adrian is fighting Vargas.
Yeah.
Vargas is very tough. Adrian is tough. I feel as though he feel he has something to prove. I hope he's in much mental shape as it looked like as physically shape he's in.
Yeah.
Javante is a beast. Javante is, special. All those guys is, pardon me. All those guys are special, man. Charlo is fighting who?
He's fighting Santino. You got Santino.
Okay.
So
I mean, you can expect fireworks for sure. Yeah. Even if they just mopping the floor with people. Yeah. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I expect Broner Vargas to be a competitive fight out of all of them. You can see Jesse Vargas is not the type of guy that's going to even attempt to lie down. I think he's going to be really up for it. He's obviously a former world champion as well, so he's definitely got something to prove. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think Davis is the interesting one for us in the US. Made a big name for himself when he fought on the Gail Badu Jack undercard. Then he beat a kind of a well-known prospect over in the UK, Ryan Walsh, last year, and he did him bad exactly. And then it kind of went flat when it went with the whole, he didn't make weight and then he was stripped of the
it's like
title.
the momentum left him. And
Right?
here's his opportunity to remind people.
Exactly, yeah. So I think, for me, I hope we get a good performance from him. There's been pressure. We don't know if it's true. You heard Mayweather say he wants him to fight Lomachenko.
And for that to be said,
that's
for that to be said out of nowhere, it kind of make me feel as though that there's tension in the camp.
Yeah,
I didn't look at that like, oh, Floyd want him to fight Lomachenko because he's ready.
Yeah.
I looked at that like, well, is Floyd trying to hurry up and cash out?
Right. That's
because just a couple months ago, Floyd was saying, not yet.
Exactly.
Now, all of a sudden, when Tank is not,
it's question marks, really.
It's a question mark.
Around Tank, what he can do because he was stripped. So
Big
where's
time,
his
brother.
mentality? Yeah.
So there's no telling. Like, I know he's an incredible fighter, Tank. I think he's going to go as far as he want to go. Like, he's one of those fighters that the only person that could beat him, to me, is himself right now. So we'll see, man. It's a lot of temptations out here with these young lions, man. They got money. Stay on TV.
And you see it not just in boxing, unfortunately, even in for us, what we call our football, real football. The young players are getting paid so much money that all of a sudden they're disciplined, they lose focus, and before they've even reached the heights, they've kind of burned out. So
and then
I
you
really hope
realize
that doesn't happen.
It's people being given this kind of money that never had $10. You're talking about giving them $10 million? Like, believe it or not, bro, it's almost like they, like, for instance, like, they're building you up intentionally.
Yeah.
So you can, like, just fuck it all up and fuck your life up. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Because it's almost like, theoretically, right? If you take a kid from the ghetto that never had nothing, and you say, you know what? Here, take $3 million.
Yeah.
That's not even a good gesture to me.
Yeah.
You're trying to kill the kid. That's how I look at it. Because there's no way nothing good is going to come out of that.
Yeah, because
so I'm looking at it almost like, I'm so happy that these guys is making money and, the money is flowing now. Shout out to Al Heyman for elevating the game to another level. But it's almost like to expect the world out of these fighters, especially these young ones, and they getting paid all this money and the temptation that come with it, and you expect them not to go wrong or go left ever. It's almost like too much of a high expectations. I expect to read a lot of people's names in the tabloids for negativity, just because the presence of a lot of money and the temptation that come with it. It's very rarely you get a young lion, man. That's one thing I will give Anthony Joshua credit for.
Yeah.
That brand, they protect that with their life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Brother, every time he do anything, it's in the proper
it's
present,
contained.
bro.
Yeah.
You get, and he gravitates to it. He don't mind it like that. I believe every fighter or athlete has the opportunity to have their life in that kind of way where everything is monitored. But they just can't do it because they don't come from that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm trying to say? They look at that like, hold on, y'all holding me back. Get off me. I want to go out and live. I want to go out.
And the thing is, to be fair, he doesn't come from that as well. But I don't know what is in the mindset, it's experience, what you kind of see is. I think he does get, and that's why I 100% respect him. He gets that business picture.
He gets it, bro.
He gets it, and
he's going to last forever
down.
with that.
And that's what's going to make him
win, lose, or draw.
Right. That's
boxing has become a small element with all
what
due
he's
respect
about to do.
for what he can. Yeah, bro.
Exactly.
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
And I truly believe that as well. But it's strange because I would always just pose a question like, can't, and I say can't, but don't they set up any type of advisory groups for these young fighters? Yeah.
No, brother.
It's like the WBC or none of these bodies. There's nothing like that. It's like you get your check.
You know what they do? You know what they do? First of all, you win a title, right? Now, to the typical passionate fan, they're looking at, wow, the guy won a title, this, that, and the third. That champion have to pay sanction fees.
Yeah.
I know champions that pay stuff like $250,000 a fight, $70,000 a fight.
Wow.
So the more belts you see somebody with, just know the more money that they're paying to even, like, within itself, that's crazy. Yeah. And, for the proper reasons, they can say, the sanctions can say, well, we're keeping the boxing alive, we're keeping the titles moving, and this, that, and the third, right? So it's almost like that money sometimes is for what? For guys like Povetkin to get caught with steroids and then be in a mandatory position a year later?
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. That is for what? For guys to just, like, bro, this boxing thing is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So you have to remain yourself more than anything because you will get lost in the sauce. Especially the more success you get, I watch people come in one way and leave out another. You know what I mean? Come in humble, leave out loudmouth. Come in loudmouth, leave out humble.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I respect guys like Chris Eubanks Sr. so much. Lennox Lewis so much, because they see the game for what it is, and they understand that anything that comes with it, you got to really stringent till you can't get nothing else out of it, because in the flash of a light, it's over.
It's over, yeah.
So how he protect his son and what he did for his son, I've always clapped for Chris Eubanks Sr.
I mean,
He's like my favorite distinguished gentleman ever. Of all time.
We call him English for this.
Yeah, for a reason.
So listen, Malik, thank you very much for joining us in the studio this week. It's been a pleasure, like I said.
Yes, love is love, man.
All the good luck moving forward. I'm going to make sure the team send a message out to Fury's coach.
Yeah, let them know, man. The eye guy is moving around.
See if they're interested, even if, I mean, White Rowan, Dave Allen's been sparring Fury, so you never know.
Definitely, bro, definitely.
But yeah, listen, appreciate that. Guys, listeners, guys that download in the future, appreciate your support. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and tag our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube page, all at Raps on TV. Raps on TV, #1 fan interaction. Keeping it live, keeping it going. Listen, thank you very much, and we're out.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. Do you want to say where they can find you at? What's your Instagram?
Malik King Scott on everything.
Malik King Scott, Instagram, Facebook, everything.
MalikKingscott. It's so simple, ain't it?
All in one.
Yeah.